out there. It's Darren and Joe over at Urban Hillsides with another thrilling edition of Real Estate Reality. Thanks for joining us today. It's Thursday, it's 2 p.m. If you like what we're putting out, please like, follow us. It really helps us get more audience to see our programming, our content. So we appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions during the show, please feel free to chime in through chat, and we'll look out for it and answer your questions directly. So we're going to do the usual. We're picking out a topic. Today's topic is about home warranties. Darren thought that would be something, and we have not covered it before, but definitely something to talk about. And then we'll do the solds of the last 7 days, what we feel is interesting to look at, as well as actives that Darren picks out. Active new listings in the last 7 days, and we'll go through seller wins and buyer wins. We also usually go through mortgage rates, interest rates, just to see what's going on there very quickly. All right. Oh, Darren, one thing, I know you missed this part, but I said, oh, shoot, I haven't been talking about it. It's the legalese.
Sure.
So let me start there. Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. I missed that, so we're back to that. That's great. All right, so let's go ahead first and look at interest rates. We're going to go to Mortgage News Daily. Let me share my screen. And let's see here, share screen. There we go. Boom, boom. Okay. So, Mortgage News Daily. There it is. Okay. All right. So mortgage rates, and we'll look at the let's see, 30-year chart. And what do we see here? Oh, wow. Well, there we are. It looks like we're somewhere around 6.07, according to Mortgage News Daily. And here's the daily look at that. What do you have to say, man? So it's been going down the last couple days. It went up 3 days ago, but more or less down. So
Sure, they have been coming down over the past couple weeks.
Right.
We did have some interest rate news today, which was, or not interest rate, but inflationary news today, which was positive, a lower level.
Right.
Which is all relative as to whether the Fed will increase rates in the future on how that number looks. So they've been coming down. There's been articles about the refinance rates ticking up, and we'll see if that's followed by applications for new mortgage purchases as well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe, I was thinking today, maybe something, maybe not now, but in the future, we should tie some kind of an inflation watch to this.
Right.
I read a very interesting article talking about maybe we're in for a extended period of an inflationary environment, which is something we've gone through before in our economy many decades ago, pre-'80s, on a consistent, more than decade level, which is a relevant point in overall economics. So we'll work on pulling something together for that as well.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I know every now and then we check in on is that fear index. We maybe could take a little look at that real quick. But just to cover all the rates, so you see 6.07 there for the 30-year, 15-year 5.25, 30-year jumbo, which is sometimes more important here in Los Angeles, 5.68. So that looks really great. And then 5/1 ARM 6.03. So
right, and FHA rate too at 5.65. Those rates are lower than the traditional 30-year fixed.
Yeah. Great. Let me go real quick over to CNN.com, and under their business section, they have. Let me get over there. the Fear and Greed Index. So let's take a look at that.
I'd love to see the analytics on this that creates this number.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess the previous close, they're looking a lot at the stock market, was neutral. So we've moved into greed. 1 week ago, it was fear. And a month ago, it was greed. And then a year ago, it was neutral. So you can see here market momentum at neutral. Stock price strength is in extreme greed. So you do see that sort of what we call cup and handle there in the graph. So that makes people a little bit happy. Maybe some stability is needed there to fill out that handle. And then stock price breadth, extreme greed. And put and call options, greed, market volatility, neutral. So that's kind of good to see. Safe haven demand, fear. Junk bond demand, fear. So pretty volatile overall. So, but yeah, we should look at inflation. You're right, man. Okay, well, great. There it is. Mortgage News Daily. Again, really good resource for a lot of people. So check that out. Next, what are we going to look at next? I guess we'll talk about the topic.
Sure.
Okay, so Darren, you pointed out this is the home warranty company that we use.
Yep.
Normally, CHW, and I'm just going to read this a little bit. Are you getting the most out of your home warranty company? Check out some of our coverage features below or online at chwpro.com. So some of them they're spotting out here. No age restrictions on the systems and appliances in the home or depreciation based on the age. Undetectable pre-existing conditions covered unless specifically noted within the policy. And what else here? Rekey coverage included in all plans for buyers.
Well, let's take, maybe before we continue here, Joe, let's just kind of give a premise of what this is and what it means. Then we get into the details.
We've got some FAQs there as well, or FAQs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So go ahead.
So, in general, when a house is sold, there's a specific section in the contract that discusses home warranty. It's typically a 1-year policy, and it's typical, I imagine everywhere, but at least in Southern California, which is where we do our business, that a seller's willing to pay for that coverage. Now, the rates, like everything else, have gone up in price, but for somewhere between 500 to 1,000, depending on the size, square footage, and if there's units involved, and items to cover, it makes it a much easier first step if something goes wrong at the property, rather than going back to a seller and questioning whether they knew it or disclosed it. Even though a buyer has their own ability to do inspections, which they'll do prior to completing the sale, some things go undetected. It happens. Or some things break down shortly after closing. It also happens.
Right.
So this is an element that is good for both the buyer. Clearly the buyer, that seems obvious. You have a warranty for 1 year, but also for the seller. In case something comes up, the buyer's not looking to you to assume that you may have known something. It really works well for both parties. And in the big picture of a sale, it is a small number to give that peace of mind and security. And sometimes potentially avoid mediation that may come up between a buyer and seller. So that's the basis of a home warranty. So go for it.
Well, here in the FAQs, the second thing they talk about is what seller's coverage is not. Seller's coverage is not designed to prepare a property for sale by repairing known pre-existing conditions. When does seller's coverage start? Seller's coverage begins the very first date is ordered and once the listing is live in the MLS. So this is more from a seller's perspective. But then how much does seller's coverage cost? Seller's coverage has a daily rate depending on the plan and upgrades included. Payment is due at closing. So again, this is taking it from the seller's perspective. Anything you want to add there?
Yeah, this is an additional policy that, at least for us, we don't typically do. This is a coverage for the seller if you commit to a home warranty company in advance. That
Early,
then
I see.
early, before you go to
Mm,
market, before you list,
mm-hmm.
that now will cover something that goes wrong during the listing period. It's not a liability
Itself.
coverage.
Ah.
It's
I don't think we've
just
ever done this, huh?
no, we haven't.
No.
This is newer.
Right.
May have been around on a small level for a while, but I think this is becoming more mainstream. So yeah, it's great to talk about it. It's going to cover just like the traditional home warranty. It's going to cover something that may break down, in this case, specifically during the listing period. So that is not an additional cost that the seller incurs.
Got it. Got it. So let me just continue here. How long does seller's coverage last? Can be in effect for up to 180 days or until the property is sold, whichever comes first. If the property does not sell within 180 days and you'd like to continue seller's coverage, contact your home warranty representative to see if extending the coverage is possible. What does seller's coverage cover? The coverage depends on the plan that is selected. We have two plans, Choice Ultimate and Choice Plan. Choice Ultimate is our most comprehensive plan and includes central AC, washer, dryer, kitchen, refrigerator, and more. Who is responsible for ordering seller's coverage? Usually the listing agent orders seller's coverage on behalf of their client. All right. Who pays for the warranty at closing? That depends on what was negotiated in the real estate transaction. Sometimes the seller pays, sometimes it's the buyer, and occasionally the real estate agent will pay for the warranty as a gift for their client or to keep a deal together. Payment for the home warranty is usually handled at closing utilizing escrow. We do, however, accept other methods of payment, such as check or credit card. The amount of payment at closing will depend on the plan that was selected and whether or not HVAC coverage was selected during the listing period.
Right. So this article is particularly highlighting the seller coverage side
Right.
of it.
Right.
We talked about initially in the layout, an introduction there about buyer coverage and what that means and how it protects both sides during that time. So, maybe we should click on a link here and get an idea of the cost of seller coverage,
Yeah.
because we already have a ballpark of a buyer coverage.
So I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. So I don't know. Do they have actual levels of price here? Let's see. Real estate pros, buyers, and sellers. Let's see. I mean, what would you say a typical home warranty cost is? Six, seven
That's
hundred dollars.
Yeah, that's typical. So I imagine your seller's coverage is going to be probably in the somewhere in the $200 to $400 range.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, during the listing period, again, that's when it's covered.
Right. Interesting. Now, if you're a homeowner, maybe you've gone past the 1 year warranty, right, that existed during the transaction, after the transaction, would you recommend continuing this? I know that's always a question people have.
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's funny. Like Trace Home Warranty gives the buyer one free extra month if you're willing to give them your contact info,
Uh-huh.
because I think one of the issues with continuing that policy for them has been the ability to connect with the homeowner at the
Right.
expiration of that time.
Right.
Sure, there are different things that this would cover outside of maybe your homeowner's policy. Obviously, the deductible is substantially less as well. Usually, if now this company would work like a homeowner's insurance policy in that
Mm-hmm.
they have people they contract out to, right? You call them with a plumbing problem, they have a list of
Mm-hmm.
plumbers. You call them with a roofing problem, they'll have a list of roofers. And you pay that roofer a deductible when they show up, and that's the cost that they get. And then if there's a job to do, the roofer gets paid as a contractor through the warranty company. Um,
Right.
the issue with warranty companies in the past has been, what do they cover and what do they not cover? One of the reasons we stay consistent with a single person and take recommendations from our brokerage in regards
Mm-hmm.
to a company as well is that there's a lot more leverage that we can we can bring to the table if they're denying a claim potentially. At least we can get our rep involved and try to have influence in the decision-making process.
Hmm.
Again, they certainly don't cover everything. They'll talk about existing conditions, although ironically in the beginning there they said maybe existing conditions that that they were unaware of, that the seller was unaware of, would still be covered. So that would
Hmm.
be interesting in how they define that on the spot. Like any other insurance, which is basically
Yeah.
what this is, there's always the question of them showing up and what are they going to cover and what are they not going to cover. But
Right.
this is a minimal cost compared to many other insurance policies.
Yeah. Right. Definitely some peace of mind if you have the budget for it.
Absolutely. And if you have no knowledge of maybe of home maintenance,
Hmm.
we often fall into that category as advisors for our clients.
Right.
This could work. This could help you and ease the process a bit. Joe, did we lose you?
I'm coming in. There we are. Keep going.
All right, there you go. So, yeah, home warranty is a good choice. We will dive into it even further. We recently had a client with a sewer issue that we're
Yeah.
now going to, and they don't often, even buyers that get these policies, don't think of that as their first resource. I
Yeah.
make a point of sending them the policy in a dedicated email, calling it the home warranty, so that hopefully they keep that email. But their first call is, "Oh no, I have a problem. I'm calling a plumber." You know,
Right.
remember that buyers and or sellers in that short-term
Yeah.
situation to call the home warranty company.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good reminder. That's kind of why I phrased the description of this because, yeah, we kind of quickly gloss over it in the transaction and then we forget about it. And,
Yeah,
yeah, it's there as a resource. Yeah, it's the right place to go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, great. Guys, I put some links in there from Choice Home Warranty to explain some of this stuff further. Obviously, if you have more questions, let us know. But yeah, Choice Home Warranty, a good resource. Check it out. All right, well, let's go on over to, let's see here. We'll go to, I guess, seller wins and buyer wins,
Sure.
right? Yeah, let's do it. Um, let's see here. Seller wins and buyer wins. So let me go into my email here and see what I sent. Let's see here. There it is. Okay. So seller wins and buyer wins. So of course we want everyone to win, but at least by the numbers, let's take a look and see what that means. I'm going to move this over to here. And let's see. Open up the MLS.com. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see.
So it's still, as you're doing that, I'll kind of just
Yeah.
preface, it's still absolutely a slower time. I don't know that any of these numbers on the sales or purchases are really representative of the bigger market direction.
Right.
There are some anomalies at year end, at year begin, often because people have specific financial goals that they're trying to execute. So we don't want to build too much into these numbers as far as volume or as far as high and low. And we're still at a point right now that we're still talking about sales from December, that went
Yep.
into escrow during December, which is the slowest month for the most part of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, as we
with
were
that
saying,
said,
as we were saying over the holiday period, yeah, the numbers were a little disorienting. So
yeah, yeah.
you couldn't believe them too much. But we are here, started 2023. Just to give you a sense of solds, there were only 8 this last 7 days. I think it was like 11 or 12 the week before. So it has dropped down a bit. And out of those 8, what we pulled from was that it was 21 days, typically as a median number for days on market. So it did go up from 13 to 21. And then the percentage of list price, the median here, Darren, I pulled it out at 104%. So at least in our Northeast LA market, and based on these 8 sold properties, yeah, it was above list still, 4% over list.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll start with some really beautiful homes, I have to say. I don't know if you were able to preview these a bit, but we're going to start over at Los Feliz area, 2630 Glendower Avenue. Started at a list price of $9,885,000, landed at a sold price of $10,294,015 for a $409,015 difference, increase rather, and that was 104% of list price, and it took 18 days on the market to sell. So let's take a look. Really beautiful home. So 2630 Glendower Avenue. It's a 5-bedroom, 7-bath, 5,582 square foot home. Again, sold at $10,294,015. Lot size, check this out, 75,596. Almost 2 acres. Amazing. Days on market 18. This is brought to us by a trio: Ernie Carswell, Daria Greenbaum, and Steve Sawai. So congrats to them. On the buy side, Daria Greenbaum. So good for Daria. But really unique property as I leafed through the images. The ceilings, the walls in the living room and that entry were just wow.
Yeah, I'd almost love to see that be in white. We joke about how, white on white cleans things up, but there's like a very dramatic. I mean, maybe they're. Yeah, gosh, it's concrete. Wow, it looks like it's a lot of exposed concrete, so that's why it's darker. But then some of the walls have like these brown textured finish, which is not concrete, and I really almost feel like I just want to see that in white against the concrete. That looks great.
Right.
The patterned concrete. So.
Right.
Yeah, but inside, outside view, and then, that enormous patio with just the spectacular views, and it looks like nobody's looking at you there. Looks great.
Well, let me just read the first couple sentences. Almost 2 acres of gardens and landscapes surround celebrated architect A.F. Leake's Grand Art Nouveau mansion, overlooking panoramic city views from downtown to the ocean. Wow. Indescribable interior details emanate from Egyptian-inspired geometric pillars and repeating arched passageways overlooked by curved gilded ceilings. Well, there you go.
Hey, we're going to compare that to a new listing at $15 million in Los Feliz. So,
okay,
getting some big ones today.
All right. Next one. Let's see if I can get there. Yeah. So now we go over to. I believe, Highland Park. This is 4937 Aldama Street. $1,295,000 was the list. It landed at $1,575,000 for a $280,000 increase, and that's 122% of list price. 10 days on the market. So let's take a look. Boom. I thought this was a really nice house. Again, a little bit more humble than the last one, but very beautiful. So 4937 Aldama Street. It's Highland Park. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,473 square feet of living space. Sold at $1,575,000. 7,500 square foot lot. Days on market 10. This is brought to us by Jed Inductivo. What a great name. And on the buyer side, Alyssa Ritt and Roark Walker, Satava. So congrats to all of those agents for getting this done. As you can see, there are some great destinations. pretty much craftsman, but they really enlarged on it all and modernized it. You can see.
Yeah, you could see all the original, a lot of the original moldings seem to be in place around the
Mm,
doorways. The the 4 inch, the 8 inch baseboards, even the uh, the cove molding and paneling coming all the way up to the 5 foot height and
mm.
ceiling, but all just painted white. So um, it's a combination of old and new, and it certainly feels more modern just with it being painted white.
Yep. And some good privacy up front. You can see they enclosed the front yard for even more yard space. So that's great.
Yeah, and the backyard looks fantastic. Very nice
Yeah.
destinations.
Yeah. Okay. Another great one. So those were considered seller wins. Uh, Obviously, just based on price. I'm sure the buyers feel like winners too. But we're going to go to what we consider, at least by strict numbers, uh, buyer wins. So we're going to go off to 4011 Farmouth Drive. And this listed, Darren, at 3,195,000. Let's see. Yep, there it is. And landed at 3,165,000 for a $30,000 reduction. There we go. And let's see here. Uh, yeah, 99% of list price. Took 24 days on the market to sell or go into contract. Um, let's see here. Bear with me. Uh, oh, there we go. Okay, 4011 Farmouth Drive, Los Feliz, 4 bedroom, 5 bath, 3,543 square feet of living space, 3,165,000 sold price, 8,000 square foot lot, 24 days on the market, and this is brought to us by Bonnie Bryant and Joe Reichling. And then on the buy side, Catherine Amon represented. So congrats to those agents once again. Pretty pretty standard, but high standard, right? On the staging and somewhat
Yeah,
remodel, I guess.
I mean, it's lovely. They put a really nice, huge deck
Yeah.
again up top. I don't know how that relates to the common space. Looks like common space may be below, um, but that's super nice.
Yeah.
The all the glass is nice. Gosh, if there was any disappointment, it would be the narrowness of the deck all the way around on the
Uh,
wraparound.
on
But
the bottom there. Yeah, the lower. Yeah.
yeah, but that may just not be the destination.
Yeah.
Destination is to get up to the upper deck.
Right. Well, beautiful stuff. Beautiful house. Let's see here. Uh, let's move on to my final buyer win. This is, and Darren, I think we talked about this one before. This is on Rowena. Took a while to sell. This is 3255 Rowena Avenue. Started at 1,549,000. Oops, what is that? Let's go here. Okay. So yeah, started 1,549,000 and then landed at 1,200,000 for a $349,000 reduction. 77% of the list price, 55 days on the market. And let's see. Um, so this is over by Marshall. 3255 Rowena Avenue. It is Los Feliz. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,592 square feet of living space. 1,200,000. It's on a 6,600 square foot lot. 55 days on the market, as I said, and this is brought to us by a Cirrus Erdelyi and a Zachary Mink on the seller side, and Sirius Erdelyi represented the buyer. So
Yeah.
it looks to be a duplex that needs
Yep.
some repair.
Yeah, it's certainly at minimum it needs a lot of cosmetic work, but it's open, a lot of large open space with views.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is, in my opinion, a real example of some of the struggles. That photo you just showed there, if you go back one, shows that
Mm-hmm.
there's a very large building behind it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Maybe there's some privacy issues in the backyard, I would think.
Yep.
But it's part of the struggle in selling units. It really reminds us of a recent sale that we had,
Mm-hmm.
um, that we thought was fantastic, and it was just difficult to get it
Mm-hmm.
sold in this market with units. And somebody got a great deal
Yeah.
here,
Yep.
and when units are a little more solid and they're better in the market, there's great value here in this
Yep.
property.
Well, and some of what we don't know here is, maybe it was an escrow before, but I am certainly looking at the first original list price, and it was high. It was 1,699,000, and
Right.
then they went to this 1,549,000 and landed at finally 1,200,000. So yeah, it's also a probate sale, so maybe that took a little longer finally, right? But it was delivered vacant. It's an oversized lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think we're
it's
gonna.
a great space in a great neighborhood.
Yeah,
I think the buyer won big here on
yeah,
this one.
yeah. All right, we'll see where that goes. Um, let's see. Boom. All right. Well, we now turn to our actives for the last 7 days. Um, let's take a look here. Um,
Well, let's
let's
jump into our big one in Los Feliz,
okay.
at 2011 Cummings Drive. What do you
2011 Cummings Drive. Oops, sorry.
what do you
Cummings.
get for 13.5 million?
All right. Must be pretty fabulous, as they say. Let's see. Um, okay. Almost there. And here we go. 2011 Cummings Drive, Los Feliz, once again. 5 bedroom, 7 bath, 5,639 square feet of living space. Listed at 13,500,000. This is on a 23,588 square foot lot. There's an HOA, oddly enough, Darren, $600 a month. And this is brought to us. It's been 6 days on the market so far. And let's see, Brett Lawyer is the listing agent. So congrats to him. Wow, very modern, very new.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with that. I personally like the other one better at 9 million. Uh, than this one. This one doesn't seem to have views. It's in more flatlands. It
Yeah,
does have a pool,
yeah.
but I'm sure there's room for a pool on the other one as well.
Right.
Check this.
Well, and once again, I saw that HOA of 600. This is Laughlin Park, so it's pretty limited in terms of number of homes and how exclusive it is there with the security and the gates and all that. So
Yep.
that's certainly what you're paying for too. Okay. Well, great. That's a good choice.
I want to see. I'm seeing another, 3 million range over in the Eagle Rock area. So I'm curious what we're getting for that 3 million range. Two
All
seven
right.
five one. Oh, that's not
Mm-hmm.
Eagle Rock. Angus Street. That's actually Silver Lake.
All right, Angus. Okay, 2751 Angus. Here we go. All right. Bear with. Doesn't look very fancy.
No, it doesn't.
All right, 2751 Angus Street. This is Silver Lake. It is 2 units, 3,074 square feet of living space. The lot is 11,329 square feet. It is listed at 2,900,000. It does have an open, I believe that is Sunday. Or is that Saturday, the 15th? Oh, no, that's Sunday. 2 to 4 p.m. And it's, let's see, just gotten on the market, 1 day on the market. And let's see here, Bradley Holmes and Joanna Sewell are representing the seller. Congrats to them. So Wow. What do you think?
I wish them the best.
It's a little high, right?
To me, it's a lot high. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just talked about the struggle of selling units.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be things we're not seeing in the photos, but I'm not seeing views. I'm not seeing spectacular yards or
Yeah.
spectacular
They're calling it out.
structures.
They're calling it out as two separate homes, both
Yep.
delivered vacant. So that's good.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Uh, Sited on one of the largest lots in Silver Lake, um, located in the award-winning Ivanhoe Elementary School boundaries. So, wow. Oh, and Darren, I don't know if you feel this way, but when I see Silver Lake misspelled, I always feel like it's Silver and it's Lake. It's not Silver Lake.
It's two
But
words.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, guys, keep it two separate. Anything else about this one?
No,
If it comes with the car, that might be a
I saw
help.
that.
That's a nice car. All right. All right. Let me move on. Okay. What else do you see out there?
Let's go over to Glass Hill Park, 2311 Arthur Street.
Okay.
This one's under $1 million at 949.
Wow. Uh, you know who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of our
Sure.
client who chimed in this morning. So,
Yes.
let's see what this looks like. Oops. All right. Well, it looks good from the street. 2311 Arthur Street. This is Glassell Park. 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,161 square feet of living space for a good price, $949,000. It's an almost 8,500 square foot lot. Opens are Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. Just came out, 0 days on market, and this is brought to us by Bradley Homes and Joanna Soul. So there you go. What else can we say about this?
Well, this is, yeah, structurally it looks great. It's situated up from the street. It's got a good sized flat yard in the back. It could definitely use some remodeling, but to me it looks like it's material choices more than, non-working elements or end-of-life stuff.
I'm trying to remember too. On this street in particular, the lots go pretty deep back, don't they?
Yep.
A lot of them do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool. We'll have to bring this to his attention, our client. This is cool. I think it's going to go up once again.
I think
Right.
so too.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's January. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Okay. Next, what do you see?
All right. Let's see what $750,000 can buy you.
Okay.
2821 Phelps. Which
282. Oh, sorry. Hold on here. 2821. 2821.
Yep.
Phelps.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an El Sereno.
All right. Where are you? There you go.
I will say
Sorry.
it doesn't seem like $750,000 can buy you good photos.
Uh-oh. 2821 Phelps Avenue, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,346 square feet of living space for $749. Okay. El Sereno. It is a 4,900 square foot lot, almost. And let's see, 1 day on the market, brought to us by Cynthia Ruiz, out of the 909. Maybe there's different tastes in photography in the 909. We'll see. Certainly could have used more image size so you could see it. But what do you think?
Right.
750 is a
It's
good
smaller.
price.
I think it's a great price. I
Yeah.
think it looks like from the photos a cosmetic remodel. It's good square footage at over 1350.
Yeah.
And a neighborhood that's continually getting better. So this one's definitely worth looking at.
Interesting. It says here, subject to cancellation of current escrow. After 1 year, buyer failed to complete transaction. Huh?
Wow.
EMD, that's a lot of patience. EMD dispute. Wow.
Got it.
Was previously tenant occupied due to COVID moratorium. We could not displace tenant. Please submit offers, blah, blah, blah. All right. Wow. A victim of COVID, it looks like. Really?
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to end it with that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Okay, let me just get out of here. Let's see. All right. Well, look, guys, just as a reminder, if you did not see it on our email that we put out about an hour ago, we do have some homes for lease. I'm about to go off to one right now. That is 3020 Isabel Drive. It's a great home. Check it out at urbanhillsides.com. What more do you want to say about it, Darren?
Oh, but Isabel, it's a great lot. It is a walkable neighborhood, and
Yep.
it's remodeled. It's on the small side, but
Right.
it's a remodeled house for $4,000 a month, just over that, which is a reasonable price for a single family dwelling.
Yeah. Yeah. The other news is we have in Tahunga a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, recent reduction or rent improvement is what I call it, to 3,850. Beautiful nature all around you, a mid-century modern that's been updated. Like this home in Mount Washington, pretty pristine. So if you have interest, check
Yeah.
these out. We're happy to show them to you. And I guess any words of wisdom, Darren, as we sign off? I've got one.
Go for it. Give it to me.
Guys, stay away from the LA River. We've got some big rain coming Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Try to stay dry and protect your property as best you can. I guess
All
that's
right.
it.
There you go.
All right, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.